you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
This is a continuation of part 2 of our program concerning slave mentality. I know you got a mouthful in the first part of our program because this stuff had to be put out there. You know, we're not here to call names in the city that we trying to back or slander, but the truth got to be told. These people out here selling us out for a paltry price. Right. You mentioned about the hand in the cookie jar. If he ain't working for the Lord, he professing to be of, then he's a servant. By my Farrakhan, then he's a servant of the devil. You know, and that's what our people are looking at. We getting fooled by the black face. Fooled by the black face and what they put on the show, portraying that they really for the best interest of our people at home. But the ones that I mentioned that, the Lord Most High, and His best prophet for this day and time. So we want you to sit back and finish listening to what you've heard in the first half of our program, that you may be enlightened in the end. My brothers, as you said before, the slave mentality. It's a thought-provoking, and people I know out there, our people might be cringing in their seats. How can they talk about this topic? But it's got to be talked about.
We got to talk.
Got to talk about it, you know.
We were talking about getting lost on color, just on the color first. But we in the previous show we talked about even Dr. King too, and I think about his quote. We talk about don't get caught up with the color of someone's sin, but the content of their characters. That goes in the reverse as well. You know,
don't get caught up with the
just as blackness.
Yeah, right. Or as whiteness.
Right. Or as whiteness.
Or as whiteness.
Or as appearance.
And there you go.
You know.
What is that? The minstrel, the prancing and the dancing and talking, very eloquent and pretty.
You have to ask yourself, why is it that it's a standard that the Caucasians don't wear beards in this society, in government, as leaders? Why is it? What's wrong with the beard? The Lord Most High give you a beard. Mm-hmm. The Lord Most High give a man a beard, mustache, and what have you. What's wrong with it? Why they don't wear it? Why they condemn it? See, they don't want to have an appearance that will lend a thought to them not being elite, pristine human beings.
So true, so true.
So they don't allow that beard thing going on. They make everybody cut their skin, cut their face, you know. And then you get Afro-Americans and other people of other groups that's following suit with them. So their thing is, well, I got to cut mine too. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at what you're saying, because you touched on something, and part of the education of this program, they have you think about, only part of something that's very important. Why do they keep their face clean? Now, many of them know, Caucasians know, that they come from those caves up in Europe, and they had that fur all around them, and so they shave their head, trying to make themselves look humane, human, and appear before you as, like he said, pure, pristine, and you look to them.
And all that hair don't make them no less human being or no more human being. But you know, I'm not trying to degrade them because they're hairy people. No. You understand? But the thing about it is, it's all about appearance to them.
Yes.
You know, it's all about appearance. I had one who was a very elite individual amongst one of their secret organizations, and I was working under him, and he said to me that he wanted me to stand out. He didn't want me to do my job. And at first I thought it was a trick to it because he knew who I was. We talked, and I let him know straight up who I am, what I am, you know. And he told me, he said, I fear you. You know, he kept calling me a poet. I said, no, I'm not a poet. And he said, I fear you. But to make a long story short, he told me, I asked him, why you don't want me to do anything? He said, I want you to look good. You have a reputation here. And I just want you to build on that reputation and look good. And I said, you don't want me to do my job? He said, your job is going to be to look good. He said, it's all about appearances. He said, you've been raised to a higher level. I said, well, that's what your people do. You know, in government. He said, yeah, it's about appearance. You know, now that goes a long way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that goes a long way. He respected me enough to admit various things, you know, because I had various conversations with him.
Right.
You know, to admit. See, once they know you know, if you talk to them in private, they'll sit down and talk to you like human beings,
right.
You know, straight up. We this, we that, we this, we that, but we got your people, and so forth and so on, and you know, but it's a different ball game there, you know, when you start dealing with true information and people who know the truth, you know, of all nationalities, but mainly we talking about Caucasian versus African Americans.
Right.
Can you imagine the African Americans or other races who will now, they'll be going around clean shaven and close haircuts.
Yeah, they following suit, their orders. Their master said do this, and you know, I can appreciate it from a military standpoint of view. You want to make everyone look the same so that they will be in order. You know, I don't have any problem with that, you know. But when it comes to you having to have your whole life taken and governed by that standard, then, you know, then we talking about something else. But if they hire you, you go to get hired under those pretenses, then it's your duty, your obligation to go into that thing. Mm-hmm. You should make your contract at the beginning before you hire.
Right.
You know.
People don't do that, you know. Funny part of the military, myself, let's think about what he was saying, because being part of the military, clean shaven and everything, but the appearance, that when he said something that was so true, our people, have you heard what he really said, was saying that when he talked to the gentleman of Caucasian background, he said that it's all about appearance. And our people today, we take the appearance, but we take it to such an extreme of the other side of negativity. You know, we put the show on for as far as flashy things, you know, cars, jewelry, clothing. And we make that the extent, the height.
When we just go what's fashionable. If they say go out and don't wear clothes at all, if they allow it, our people be out there without clothes on at all. You know,
they're coming close to it now, but a style of clothing wearing out.
Well, just like the opposite effect of people, young brothers wearing their clothes down and strings untied. They all you ever go with your belt loose? I know when my belt is loose, my whole being feels.
Me too. That's why.
Imbalanced.
Yeah, that's
and it's like, and they're into that. They didn't found comfort in that.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to make little jokes, you know, with young guys that I see. I said, you know, hey man, you get in trouble, you start running from the cops. Boy, what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. How you gonna raise them pants up and take hat, as we used to say.
Right.
You know, you ain't got your shoes tied. You know, you know, how you gonna run, man? You gonna run out of them shoes. Pants gonna trip you. Your shoes got little signals on them, so you can't hide. They flash a light on. They see that it was sneakers over there. If sneakers that fell off over there, and they catch you with your pants down.
It's not practical to survive.
Maybe it's not practical to survive.
Maybe that's where the term came from. Coat with your pants down.
I was going to answer is our people just following fashion, whether it's clean shaven or loose pants, whatever.
Well, our people being ex-slaves and still having that slave mentality.
Right.
Our people, a large number of our people, and it's not all our people, but most of our people look to be told what to do. And they feel comfortable with being told what to do, especially by the children of the slave masters, you know, the descendants of the slave masters, Caucasians. Some are honored to be told what to do. Some are honored to go and get their old furniture. You know, they say, well, I got an old, table set, and, I done had it for 10 years, and throw it out. You think you might like it? It's a good set. Mm-hmm. And they be honored. Not to say that, hey, don't go take secondhand stuff, but they got a different mentality about giving that to you. And the people who generally run and take that stuff with it, from my experience, they have a different attitude about receiving it. Yeah. And it's almost like the nigga thing, man. Hey, man, I don't want your table. I'll go buy my own. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me nigga, because I'm not that. I'm Negro. Not knowing that nigger, it comes from nigger-ro. So they couldn't say the word properly. They say nigger-ro, and it went down to nigger. But because, the brutality that came with it, if I say love and smack you, every time I say love, I just whip you. Right. Eventually, if I do that for 200, 300 years, every time you hear the word love, you're going to get angry. And somebody take you to a country and they say, oh, I love you. You've been trying to kill them, right? That's right. Because it's not the word is what the word triggers.
Right.
It's that what's in that gene, in that mind. That's why I said in our previous show, our previous taking here, that I'm not insecure about that word.
N-word, right.
The N-word. I'm not secure about it. I had to go through some training. And I needed this training. My Lord put me in this training, said that He want me in this training, and I had to achieve this training because it was my profession. And every day, Caucasians was calling me nigga 20 times a day, in the least. And we talking about State Department.
Yeah.
I went through that training, and I was smiling. I guess they were saying, how can you do this? But eventually, after about 8 weeks of this training, on the 9th week of this training, I had bunking with some Caucasian peers.
Right.
One night, I guess they felt good, and they started calling me nigga in that room. Then the fight was on.
In the dormitory.
They found out that, whoa, this guy, he ain't like what I thought. And I explained to him, I said, man, I'm going to tell y'all something. Them calling me niggas every day, and I'm trying to protect the organization that was doing it. That's why I ain't saying it. Them calling me nigga every day, 20 times, 30 times a day, I'm just being put on trial. Because they know me better than you know me. They got my records, they know my life, they know everything.
Right.
You know, you understand? They show me pictures of my childhood, and they know what's been going down with the riots in New York and everything. And I'm like, they just trying me to see if I can handle this job. When I flip out, if some Caucasian call me a nigga if I'm working out in the world.
Right.
You know, my Lord said, you know, I'm above that. They realize I'm above that. You understand? Mm-hmm. So they just try it, but I threatened the lives of them guys, 9 guys in that room with me, and I guarantee you, after I finished talking to them, they didn't talk about nigga no more to me.
So they had a realization now.
They had the realization.
Right.
And the people who I was working on, of course, they had the rooms taped, and they knew too, okay, he ain't one of them kind of guys. He just doing this because he know this is a trial. You know?
Lord Holy-Apostle,
yes.
You touched on something again, like I said before. I need to just keep educating as it goes on in this program. You touched on something about being tried by the very things put in slavery. And I know many of our people today, those who raise the flag of Afrocentricity, they raise the flag, we all kings, we all queens, and even greater. But if you look at the societies, those great empires at one time, whether they were Egypt, or Mali, Timbuktu, they all had a rise and a fall. Now, they were people of color, so now, looking this day and time, how could you always just say that the white man is always in charge of us? We were in charge at one time as well. So, again, it ain't about color. It's about either obeying the laws or the Lord sent down, or you're going away, and the Lord put the trial now, taking down the chastisement, now put other people over you now.
Reality.
You know, the reality of that.
It's just like the seasons.
Right.
You know, at one point something is in season, then something else comes in season. What was in season before it dies out, and then, you know, it kind of like got this evolution thing going on.
Okay.
You know, we had African kings and queens who were very evil. We got African kings and queens today that's very evil. We got people who up in government in these United States of America, Afro-Americans are very evil. And they will sit back and they'll cut the throats of their own people to get ahead. They're about the money. You understand? That's the house Negro mentality he was talking about.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I just seen a show on PBS where they took this DNA thing. And they had with Oprah Winfrey.
Dr. Louis Gates program.
Yes.
And,
a few other. But the reason I mentioned Oprah, she thought that she had Zulu in her. And I know she thought she was a Zulu queen or something. They didn't let her through the door and giving her all this money. And see, they make the house niggas rich. Excuse me. They make the house niggas rich.
It's all right, Lord. Take a child.
And the thing about it is, this is the play. If I got 50 million people enslaved in prison, and I promise them that I'm going to give them rights and I'm going to raise them up, and I take 10 people and I give them $1 billion, 10 people that I know I have in my control. No matter what I do with them, they know they better stand fast. Right. And then they keep putting those 10 people on television and show all their riches. Then the other 40 million, whatever.
99,000.
Maybe I'll be rich.
There you go.
It ain't so much as maybe we'll be rich. We are rich. Look at Oprah. Look at Michael. Look at Tiger. Don't forget Tiger. He said he's not black.
Right. That's right. There we go.
Look at all these rich folks, and they figure these handfuls make up the nation. And we have moved ahead.
Yeah.
And we can go to work and still be slaves and dream of Oprah. And all these other people who they've made rich. Ain't no way in the world they're gonna let me with my mentality or anybody with my type of mentality through that door, up the ladder, and get rich, and they not try to assassinate my character, do whatever. No way in the world. So we have to be very careful of the leaders that they pick for us.
Yes.
Because they pick all our leaders.
Say it again.
They pick all our leaders.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to be careful of our leaders that they pick for us. Because if they picking these leaders for us, then something is not right about them leaders. You understand? I don't care how good of people they are. They attack our people while they live, and then they raise them up after they die. They slayed Martin Luther King at a precise time when they knew that this man was started talking Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, and they was talking about coming together. And Martin's wife knew it, and certain other people that's in government today knew it, and they allowed this thing to go on all these years, not telling the people, oh, Martin was changing his mind. Martin had another thought in his head. Martin wasn't about just walking elbow to elbow and getting dogs jumping on him and fire hose down and beat down and what happened. Martin's dream was cracked. Martin was like, wait a minute now, maybe, I'm kidding, I got to get out of this dream because this dream is like a nightmare here.
Yeah.
Because we ain't walking hand in hand. No, because I can't go in other parts of this city.
Right. That's right.
And be safe. And it's a long time after Martin was slain. You understand? But when they slayed him, they knew they had to get him at that particular time. Right. Because what he had left right there could not be changed. And then they took him like they took a lot of other leaders that they would use as a cover for them. Right. And they raised him up and keep him. They almost making him a deity. Oh yeah, now give him a holy day, and give him a holy day, and have all the children mock him. How can I say mock him? Mimic him. Okay, yeah. They have the children mimic him, and they had the children thinking that he did such a grand thing. When what? The key thing that they want you to see is that Martin let us kick his butt. Yeah. Martin let us kick his butt and he turned the other cheek. Be like Martin. That old Christian mentality. Yeah. That Christian thing is a whole nother ball game. Woo. Yes, sir. And you mentioned Martin because in this day and time, one of those that followed Martin, had that slave mentality. And they raised him up. Jesse Jackson. They raised him up to the top. And Martin wasn't too cool with him, from what I hear. And they raised him up, and he done did his thing, But the thing about it is sad but true. And our people, they can get angry with us, but this is the truth. Once you might have a good heart. You might have good intentions. Because, a lot of men have good intentions. I'm trying to make the world better. When the Lord first started giving me information back in 1979, I was like, oh, man, this is it. And I went running out to my people, man, saying, Allah said this, Allah said that. The first ones rejected me was my blood family. Oh, they rejected me hard. And they said I was ill. You talking about the Lord? And I was raised in church and raised in all the different religions. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm serious. But they talk about in Islam and in Christianity, Judaism, they talk about angels and afterlife and things of this nature. But when someone come into contact with that, you get reason. They have reason for trying to denounce this person. Well, for the Afro-Americans, their reason for denouncing this person is that this person gonna come and shake up the cookie jar, and they gonna miss that particular cookie they was trying to get. Right. Because he coming with the Lord's message for real. We gotta stop him. And when they come to me, they want to know, well, is you letting the white man in? Is this a new religion? Is it about the white? Yes, I'm calling all everybody. All people. And if they can stand the fire of Christ, Come on in.
Come on in. That's right.
You know, but if they can't stand the fire of Christ, if they don't understand what Christ really is, and they're not ready to accept it, then it's not my fault that they turn away from it.
And Lord, that matters to know what their race is.
Race, nationality. Look, this is a day. This is a time when the Lord Most High has come down to the level of my mentality, which it has raised me up. And I'm not saying down to the level of mentality on this earth, because the Lord Most High raised me up to a certain level and brought itself to me to keep me at this level, to relate its message to the people. And this message is for the people throughout the world. And I'm going to tell you, if you look at the signs of the times, with all the catastrophes and the earth be taken off its axis and all the other things that's going on, even in outer space, you know, they know about it. They got records, they got history, they know what to look for. Well, our people don't. Our people have lost that old religion thing. You know, we in church hooping and hollering and, you know, trying to get a husband or a wife and, you know, and getting some emotionalized and thinking it's the Holy Ghost and this, you know, we gone. We need to be taken, we need to be helped, we need to be taken by the Lord Most High and shown.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, as I give out this message, I know a lot of people are afraid of it, you know, because my experience is that people are afraid because they know that I'm serious. They know I'm for real. See, if you could have panned me off as being insane like they tried to back in 1979 on up, then okay, but where's the signs of my insanity? Right. You understand? If you come and sit with me and you realize that everything that you've thrown out in terms of your intellectual information, and I'm not talking about knowledge because a lot of them don't have that experience. Right. You know, the experience of true religion, the true knowing, the true going into the spirit realm and what have you. They can't even start talking about that.
Oh, they have intellectual.
They bookized, you know? And the thing about it, they read a book and then they think they know. Their knowing, their knowledge is only in their imagination. What they read and imagine. So you know through imagination. I'm talking about knowing through actuality. You understand? And my thing is this. If what I've been saying over the years, using the name of Allah and all this and all the names that it gives me, if I wasn't right, what journey happened to people like that? You start seeing signs of the Lord's non-support of them. Oh yeah. You start seeing things happening to them. You know, and you hear them make mistakes and say crazy things. You know, and I've had people come and they want to know, the white man involved? Do you hate the white man? What are you talking about? I don't have time for hatred. Hatred is a downer. You take hatred into your being and it destroys you.
So you can't say that.
I have understanding. I realize that the Lord Most High is the one that guides it right and the one that guides it straight. And if you weren't born or created on the left-hand side, then you doomed. If you created on the right-hand side, then you're going to be raised up. As long as you follow the tenets of the Lord's agreement. You know, to the letter. There I stand. And there's no insanity about it.
Like I said, this message here is quite sane. And if those who out there watch this program, if you're looking for true clearance, true guidance, then take time to really partake of the words being given forth through this man, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen. Take time to really assess what you truly hear today, because this is the hour the Lord is manifesting that this day of judgment is at hand. It ain't about, I'm going to go with this group of people because they say this, they have the numbers. See, all these are showing now, it ain't about the numbers. You know, if you look at anything of history, always been small groups of people that have affected great amounts of change in the world because they went against what you call the status quo. You know, the ends, you know, the haves and the have-nots. Go with the house, you know.
Get in the house, we go with the house.
I thought about one of the people that he spoke about, you know, the Oprah Winfrey's, and I know these are the people that they have put up in our to show that everything in America, everything, we're having great stride, we're making in this society. But like I said, she had a realization when she went to France. When she went to the particular department store and went to shop, they turned her away. Regardless of who she was, they found out who she was, they still turned away. Let her know still.
She's not in America, she's not being used.
Go.
You know, the reality of her is that she's being used by the jinn in the United States of America. Jinn in England don't need her and they don't want her. Exactly. You know, to them, she's an American Negro. And they still call us Negroes and colored people and niggers and all that kind of stuff. They may not publicize it, but you go amongst them. They still call you that. You understand? Some of us still haven't seen black folks in person. You know? But the thing I was saying about her earlier, she seemed to be disappointed because they did a DNA test, man.
Right.
And she didn't have any Zulu in her. She was thinking that she was Zulu. She probably thought she was a Zulu queen because she's reached such heights in this society. And people don't understand success in this society ain't always about what you know.
Right.
It ain't always about you being good or right. It's about you being selected and right for the beast. Right. In many cases. If you ain't serving the beast's cause, he gonna try to take you down because again, I say this is his house. He believed this is his house and you're not coming and disturbing his house. Mm-hmm. Now, as long as we talk like we talking here on this level with cable station and local publication,
that's right.
No problem. But let somebody hear it and get it out and then it go forth. You're going to have somebody have to go do some shopping for you. You're going to have to make sure you never take public transportation again. You understand? You're going to have to get on the spaceship with me. And we're going to have to fly on our spaceship.
Be our flesh.
You know, just to go shopping. But the thing about it is that it's all real, but our people, it's still, are hurting.
Yes.
They're hurting. And they're afraid, and they think having a house mentality. Because you got somehow people actually raise their children to fit the society. I've heard a guy say that I've hurt my children because I gave him these names, and he will never hurt his children. He gonna name his children these English names. He will never hurt his children because he know that if they had these Arabic names, these African names, and what have you, these Asian names. They're going to be hurt. The society going to hurt them. There's one who fears man more than he fears the Lord Most High. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I didn't question the Lord Most High as to why it caused me to change my name to what it changed my name. I didn't question as to why it gave me the hundreds of names that I've given to people to name their children and to name themselves. If the Lord give me something, I give it. But one thing I can say, the meaning of these names that I've given to all these different people, I see these people and I say, can't tell me the Lord don't know what it's talking about. Because these people have grown up and they live in these names and they manifesting in these names. Because the Lord knows all.
The Lord is real.
Any words you want to say?
Well, yes, the Lord is real, and it's such a pleasure to be standing here before you.
Oh, you always say that.
No,
you always say that.
And the only reason why I can't find anything to advance upon it, so until I find something, until I'm called to find something, that's how it stands. So
well, Ahezaah is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, and our people are so afraid. The Muslims don't want to believe in Ahezaah's manifestation. They don't want to believe in this Ahezaah's manifestation to a man. But see, Ahezaah ain't just here to manifest to me. I'm not running around claiming I'm the only one that is going to manifest to.
Right.
Ahezaah told me it will be 18,000 enlightened people. That means 18,000 people that it's going to relate to. And that they're going to relate to it directly or in nearness in some manner.
Right. You
understand? And I'm looking forward to that. Because see, these 18,000 amongst 144,000, that's the foundation of our tomorrow.
Yes.
Because Ahezaah is going to destroy this world for real. It's already being done. And our people can sit around and trust their masters. They not telling them what's going on with the world, the physical world.
Right.
The catastrophes that's taking place, like the melting of the polar caps, and even the changing of the polar caps.
Yes.
You understand? And what we're headed for. They play like they're prophets because the Lord said in the book of Revelation they act like prophets.
Right.
But they won't tell our people the truth, and our people don't want to hear it coming from anyone but them. If I was a Caucasian saying what I was saying, I'd have them running my house down.
I hope you've been enlightened by this conversation this evening. I hope we sparked some thought and provoking you to look what's going on today? You are a called people. The Lord said you are called by his name this day and time. Become new soldiers of the Lord L this day. Seek to be of those that be a part of this, because what's taking place now is history in the making. It's for you to wake up, African American people, realize that the Lord has graced you with this giving of this covenant for you. And if you turn away from it, then it is to your detriment. But I want you to think about what's being said. If you have any comments or questions about what you hear on this program, please send them to A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 071112. Post Office, that's A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 07103. Yes, sir. This has been the I Am moment, the calm before the storm. Think about what's been said and stand up. The time is now. May Jesus peace and nothing about your presence. Yes, sir.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?